Welcome students to the class of Child Psychology. I'm Dr. Silvi De Silva, Assistant Professor of Department of Psychology from the City's Delhi College of Arts and Science, Miramar, Goa. So today we are going to study about the early and the middle childhood. The module name is Physical Development, Growth Patterns, Physical and Motor Development. In this video, we are going to study about the physical development, the growth patterns, physical and motor development. And at the end of the video, the students will be able to describe physical growth during early and middle childhood and acquaint with the various developmental changes. So to begin with, let's understand the meaning of growth. Growth is an increase in the size of bodily parts or of the organism as a whole. It signifies quantitative changes. According to Crow and Crow in 1962, growth refers to structural and physiological changes. Development is the orderly and sequential changes that occur with the passage of time as an organism moves from conception to death, also referred to as gradual growth, which indicates changes in character. This is a picture, and in this picture we can clearly see the changes in proportions of the human body during the entire growth. That is from 2 months till 25 years. Moving on to the physical development during early childhood. Like infants and toddlers, preschoolers grow quickly, that is both physically and cognitively. During early childhood, development is truly integrated. The biological, psychological, and social changes occurring at this time are interrelated. Some important influences on physical development during the preschool period include changes in the child's brain, gross and fine motor skills, and health. Children begin to lose their baby fat or chubbiness around the age of 3 years. Toddlers soon acquire the leaner, more athletic look associated with childhood. The child's trunk and limbs grow longer and the abdominal muscles form, tightening the appearance of the stomach. At this early stage of life, boys tend to have more muscle mass than girls, and the preschoolers' physical proportions also continue to change, with their heads still being disproportionately large, but less so than in toddlerhood. 3-year-old preschoolers may grow to be about 38 inches tall and weigh about 32 pounds, and by the age of 6 years, children reach a height of about 46 inches and weigh about 46 pounds. These figures are averages and differ depending on socioeconomic status, nourishment, health, and heredity factors. Moving on to motor skills in early childhood. Motor skills are physical abilities or capacities. Gross motor skills, which include running, jumping, hopping, turning, skipping, throwing, balancing, and dancing, involve the use of large bodily movements. Fine motor skills, which include drawing, writing, and tying shoelaces, involve the use of small bodily movements. Both gross and fine motor skills develop and are refined during early childhood. However, fine motor skills develop more slowly in preschoolers. Moving on to physical development during middle childhood. Like infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, the older children grow both physically and cognitively, although their growth is slower than it was during the early childhood. Physical development in middle childhood is characterized by considerable variations in growth patterns. These variations may be due to gender, ethnic origin, genetics, hormones, nutrition, environment, or disease. While children follow the same basic developmental patterns, they do not necessarily mature at the same rate. Most girls experience a pre-adolescent growth spurt around age 10, while most boys experience the same growth spurt around age 11 or 12. Children who do not receive adequate nutrition or medical attention may be at the risk for stunted or delayed growth development. By the beginning of the middle childhood, children typically have acquired a leaner, more athletic appearance. Girls and boys still have similar body shapes and proportions until both genders reach puberty, the process whereby children sexually mature into teenagers and adults. After puberty, secondary sexual characteristics make distinguishing females from males much easier. That is, breasts and curves develops in females and deeper voice and broad shoulders in males. Girls and boys grow about 2 to 3 inches and gain about 7 pounds per year until puberty. and the skeletal growth in middle childhood is also associated with losing the baby teeth. Throughout most of the middle childhood, girls are smaller than boys and have less muscle mass. At puberty, girls may be considerably larger than boys of the same age who enter puberty a few years later. Once boys begin sexually maturing, their height and weight eventually surpass the heights and weights of girls of the same age. Moving on to the motor skills of middle childhood. Motor skills are behavioral abilities or capacities. Gross motor skills involve the use of large bodily movements, and fine motor skills involve the use of small bodily movements. Both gross and fine motor skills continue to refine during the middle childhood. Children love to run, jump, leap, throw, catch, climb, and balance. They play baseball, ride bikes, roller skate, take karate lessons, and even participate in gymnastics. As school-aged children grow physically, they become faster, stronger, and better coordinated. Consequently, during middle childhood, children become more skillful at gross motor activities. In preschool, children learn and practice fine motor skills. Preschool children engage in activities like cut, paste, mold, shape, draw, paint, create, and write. And this includes fine motor skills. These children also learn such skills as tying shoelaces, untying knots, and flossing their teeth. Some even take music lessons for piano, violin, flute, or other instruments. Learning to play an instrument helps children to further develop their fine motor skills. Along with the physical growth of children comes the development of fine motor skills, including the sense of competence and confidence to use these skills. Children enter middle childhood still looking very young and end the stage on the cusp of adolescence. Most children have gone through a growth spurt that makes them look rather grown up. While we don't see the actual brain changing, we can see the effects of the brain changes in the way that children in middle childhood play sports, write, and play games. These are my references. Thank you.